Kiryu Kazuma is a man who has many fighting styles: Brawler, Rush, Beast, Legend, or the Dragon of Dojima style that he used from Yakuza 1 all the way to Yakuza Kiwami 1. A 10-year period of using this fighting style. But I'm not here to talk about any of those fighting styles or the original Dragon style. I'm here to talk about the one that replaced all of those fighting styles from Yakuza 6 and onwards. Kiryu's new fighting style. Unlike the other fighting styles that I mentioned and that Kiryu used before, this one doesn't really have a set name. It's flip-flop back and forth, and I just want to kind of go over that because I don't really even know what to call this thing. Back when this style was introduced in Yakuza 6, I don't think it was actually named, and in Yakuza 6 I can't pull up a tutorial or anything, so I can't actually find the game describing the fighting style, so there's not really a name for it in Yakuza 6. The first time we see it named is actually in the English version of Kiwami 2. In the Coliseum, it's listed as Dragon of Dojima, which makes it the same thing as Kiryu's original fighting style, the Dragon of Dojima, or Dragon, or Legend. Anyway, the next time we see the style named after Kiwami 2 is in Yakuza 7, or Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's kept the same in both the English and Japanese versions of the game, and I know this because Pecora even says it in her stream. So that's it, right? It's called Dragon of Dojima in Kiwami 2 and Dragon of Dojima in Yakuza 7. So that's the name, right? Wrong. Because the name actually evolves more from that for some reason. Leading up to the release of Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, they started teasing and putting out articles to promote the game, which obviously featured Kiryu's fighting style again. But this time, it was given an actual name instead of just Dragon of Dojima. It was given the name of Yakuza, which, I don't know, that seems really lazy because agent style because he's an agent, and then Yakuza because he was a Yakuza. I don't know, it's lazy, but whatever. In the Japanese version of Gaiden, they call this style Oryu, as a reference to the dragon on his back.
Battle style Oryu. 今までの喧嘩スタイルを極めたバトルスタイル.
So, it's called Oryu, it's called Yakuza, and it's called the Dragon of Dojima style. But it doesn't stop there. In The Man Who Erased His Name, there's a special trial version of Infinite Wealth, or a demo version of Infinite Wealth in there where you could explore Hawaii and get used to some of the combat and story. Leading up to the release of The Man Who Erased His Name, RGG showed off the demo in one of their live streams. And in Infinite Wealth, Kiryu has access to his multiple fighting styles again. So we have another chance to see what they chose to name it.
Kazuma Kiryu, as you can see here. So he's brought three of his iconic fighting styles here. So he's got the Yakuza style, he's got the Rush style, and he's got the Beast style, right?
Yeah.
So,
and in this demo, it's called Yakuza, which fits in with what the style is called in The Man Who Erased His Name, Yakuza. But that's in the version of the demo that's played in the live stream. In the actual Infinite Wealth demo that you can access from The Man Who Erased His Name, it's called Brawler, which doesn't fit with what the style was called in the main game of The Man Who Erased His Name. But this isn't something exclusive to the English version, because for some reason the Japanese version of the game also changes the name from Oryu to Yakuza, which makes it even more confusing. The English version went from calling it Yakuza to Brawler, and the Japanese version of it went from calling the fighting style Oryu to Yakuza. And now, the most recent game where the style was named. In the English version of Infinite Wealth, the style keeps the name Brawler, even though it has a picture of the Dragon of Dojima kick, but whatever. And in the Japanese version, they keep the name of Yakuza. So it's the demo versions of the name that they just transferred over to Infinite Wealth, or more likely the other way around. So all in all, Kiryu's current fighting style was called Dragon in Kiwami 2, Dragon in Yakuza 7, Yakuza in Gaiden, but only in the English version, Oryu in Gaiden, but only in the Japanese version, Brawler in the Infinite Wealth demo, but only in the English version, Yakuza in the Infinite Wealth demo, but only in the livestream version, Yakuza in the Infinite Wealth demo, but only the Japanese version, Brawler in Infinite Wealth, but only in the English version, and Yakuza in Infinite Wealth, but only in the Japanese version. So what the hell do you even call this style? Well, I guess you could just call it all of these things, and you could change the term depending on the topic of the conversation. Like if I was talking about Gaiden, I would say Yakuza style, but if I was talking about Infinite Wealth, I would say Brawler, or just Dragon. It's just kind of funny how they couldn't decide on what to name it. I mean, seriously, Yakuza Brawler, jeez, man. My best guess as to why they would keep the style name as Brawler in the English version is because it just flows and synergizes a lot more with people who just got done playing Zero or are more familiar with Yakuza 0, as that game has Brawler, Beast, and Rush, and then Infinite Wealth would have Brawler, Beast, and Rush. But the Japanese version does call it Yakuza, which is what they called it in The Man Who Erased His Name in the English version. But I don't know, I wasn't on the localization team. I'm just the guy that makes stupid YouTube videos complaining about stuff. Anyway, bye.